Indonesia, a land of breathtaking nature and rich culture. There are many things Indonesians are proud of. One-of-a-kind photogenic spots spread all over the nation, unique wildlife, magnificent cultural heritage, and the most recent one, the G20 presidency. Indonesia is proud to hold the 2022 G20 presidency. As a multilateral forum connecting the world's major economies, the G20 holds a strategic role in securing global economic growth and stability. Together, the G20 members represent more than 80% of world GDP, 75% of international trade, and 60% of the world population. And 2022 is the year that Indonesia plays a major role in leading the G20 discussions on various global issues. Not an easy task amid a global pandemic that still continues after more than 2 years. Holding the presidency in this unique moment where countries are struggling to bounce back from COVID-19, Indonesia introduces Recover Together, Recover Stronger as the main theme of its presidency. As a step toward an even, sustainable recovery, 6 priority agendas are introduced in the finance track. Exit strategy to support recovery, addressing scarring effect to secure future growth, payment systems in the digital era, sustainable finance, digital financial inclusion, and international taxation. Through these agendas, the Indonesian presidency aims to engage all G20 members and invitees in discussions and deliberations that goes beyond just the interest of advanced economies. Considerations also need to be put for other countries that may still be struggling to manage the pandemic. Because coming out of the pandemic, no one should be left behind. Recover together, recover stronger.
Behold, the beauty that is Indonesia, Mother Nature's gift of serene and colorful landscapes, where diversity makes us one, united towards a common goal, where resiliency is achieved together. A strong infrastructure governance arising, where investments are waiting to flourish, and where creativity is inspired by tradition. Indonesia, where beautiful possibilities are offered.
Indonesia, a land of breathtaking nature and rich culture. There are many things Indonesians are proud of. One-of-a-kind photogenic spots spread all over the nation, unique wildlife, magnificent cultural heritage, and the most recent one, the G20 presidency. Indonesia is proud to hold the 2022 G20 presidency. As a multilateral forum connecting the world's major economies, the G20 holds a strategic role in securing global economic growth and stability. Together, the G20 members represent more than 80% of world GDP, 75% of international trade, and 60% of the world population. And 2022 is the year that Indonesia plays a major role in leading the G20 discussions on various global issues. Not an easy task amid a global pandemic that still continues after more than 2 years. Holding the presidency in this unique moment where countries are struggling to bounce back from COVID-19, Indonesia introduces Recover Together, Recover Stronger as the main theme of its presidency. As a step toward an even, sustainable recovery, 6 priority agendas are introduced in the finance track. Exit strategy to support recovery, addressing scarring effect to secure future growth, payment systems in the digital era, sustainable finance, digital financial inclusion, and international taxation. Through these agendas, the Indonesian presidency aims to engage all G20 members and invitees in discussions and deliberations that goes beyond just the interest of advanced economies. Considerations also need to be put for other countries that may still be struggling to manage the pandemic. Because coming out of the pandemic, no one should be left behind. Recover together, recover stronger.
Behold, the beauty that is Indonesia. Mother Nature's gift of serene and colorful landscapes. Where diversity makes us one, united towards a common goal. Where resiliency is achieved together. A strong infrastructure governance arising, where investments are waiting to flourish, and where creativity is inspired by tradition. Indonesia, where beautiful possibilities are offered.
Indonesia, a land of breathtaking nature and rich culture. There are many things Indonesians are proud of. One-of-a-kind photogenic spots spread all over the nation, unique wildlife, magnificent cultural heritage, and the most recent one, the G20 presidency. Indonesia is proud to hold the 2022 G20 presidency. As a multilateral forum connecting the world's major economies, the G20 holds a strategic role in securing global economic growth and stability. Together, the G20 members represent more than 80% of whether in our 20s or 60s, we're all babies compared to our planet. The Earth, with its mountains, plains, rivers, and oceans, has been spinning for long before we exist, and hopefully, long after. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee that the Earth will be preserved for the next generation, not at the pace we're currently in. Recent climate-related natural disasters have strengthened the argument that climate change is a critical global concern. Climate change also greatly affects the world's economic and financial stability. The increasing frequency and severity of natural disasters have shown to disrupt economic development and generate large fiscal costs to finance social and physical recovery. If the current battle against COVID-19 has taught us something, it is that in order to come out of crisis, we need to work together. And the climate crisis is no exception. The G20 recognizes the importance of addressing climate issues and has played a significant role in orchestrating various initiatives, which includes creating a roadmap to address climate-related financial risks, to share best practices on the development of environment and climate risk management in the financial sector, to work on climate-related reporting standards, as well as to build a framework for a sustainable economy. However, when it comes to climate change, our work is far from over. Indonesia urges G20 members, invited countries, and international organizations to continue research and efforts to enable countries to transition into low-carbon economy with minimum risk. Because just like how we need to survive COVID-19, the world needs to survive us. Recover together, recover stronger. Two years ago, life, as we knew it, was shattered. For the past 2 years, we readjust our definition of normal. We've experienced the worst moments in modern civilization. We've witnessed the best of people and humanity. And all that we've gone through together. COVID-19 has taken more than 5 million lives worldwide, with more and more variants appearing, each posing a new threat to humankind. Global growth declined sharply during the first year of the pandemic, worse than any previous crisis. Millions lost their jobs and closed their businesses. Everyone was impacted. Nevertheless, strict health protocols along with the new COVID-19 vaccines has renewed our hope. Now, more than 10 billion people around the globe are already vaccinated, including children. While not remotely enough, this number is a start, and the number keeps growing. Slowly but surely, the world economy is recovering. Countries open their borders, businesses are revived, and kids are elated to go back to school. The G20 has played major roles in the recovery, bringing forth initiatives such as the Debt Service Suspension Initiative from May 2020 until December 2021, liquidity injection of more than $5 trillion to fight the destructive effects of the pandemic, reducing and erasing tax and tariff on vaccines, hand sanitizers, medical equipments, and drugs, investment reforms, and the launch of Joint Finance Health Task Force to respond to future pandemics. Despite these progress, the world recovery remains uneven, with countries emerging from the crisis facing different challenges. Recover together, recover stronger is the theme of the current G20 presidency held by Indonesia. Indonesia's presidency is committed to ensure that coming back from the pandemic crisis, nobody gets left behind. On the finance track, 6 main agendas are set and will be strongly promoted during Indonesia's presidency. Exit strategy to support recovery, addressing scarring effect to secure future growth, payment system in the digital era, sustainable finance, digital financial inclusion, and international taxation. The Indonesian G20 presidency urges G20 members and invitees to make sure that countries can return to their pre-pandemic glory, that people are given the opportunity to live a decent life, to turn the world economy back to its upward track, and to do it all together. Recover together, recover stronger. At the end of 2021, we've paved the road to 2022's G20 presidency, promoting Recover Together, Recover Stronger as its main theme. The first Finance and Central Bank Deputies meeting in the Indonesian presidency has established 6 priority agendas in the finance track that will be discussed throughout 2022. After setting it in motion, the G20 has completed various finance track meetings, both in the working group and high level. Held in Jakarta, the second Finance and Central Bank Deputies meeting, as well as the first Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting, was completed in February 2022. But the work isn't done yet. We still have the rest of the year to discuss all of the agendas in the Indonesian G20 presidency. One of the most crucial agenda is exit strategy to support recovery. COVID-19 has led to a severe global recession. In response, countries have taken unprecedented fiscal and monetary policies to protect the economy. These policies, along with the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines, has brought positive outcomes. Economic activities had begun to resume. Nevertheless, recovery is not one size fits all. Advanced economies are recovering much faster than their emerging markets counterpart, while low-income countries are lagging. The different timings of exit policies can potentially bring negative spillover effects for countries. To mitigate these risks, a well-planned, well-calibrated, and well-communicated exit policy is needed. Under Indonesia's presidency, the G20 countries and invitees will work together to create policy setting for a smooth exit strategy. For it is our duty to ensure that emerging from this pandemic, no one gets left behind. Recover together, recover stronger.
A very good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to the launching event of the G20 TechSprint 2022, a collaboration event organized by Bank Indonesia and BIS Innovation Hub, broadcasted live from Jakarta. Distinguished guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen, before we start this momentous occasion, please do kindly pay attention to the following rules of the event. Please do use the virtual background, which is available in your confirmation email or that what we have made available in the chat room right now. Please do use the following username format, institution, followed by an underscore, and also your name. And also kindly always turn the microphone off throughout the event. Should there any problem occur in the Zoom application, please do rejoin using the backup WebEx link provided in the chat box. Thank you for your attention.
Indonesia, a land of breathtaking nature and rich culture. There are many things Indonesians are proud of. One-of-a-kind photogenic spots spread all over the nation, unique wildlife, magnificent cultural heritage, and the most recent one, the G20 presidency. Indonesia is proud to hold the 2022 G20 presidency. As a multilateral forum connecting the world's major economies, the G20 holds a strategic role in securing global economic growth and stability. Together, the G20 members represent more than 80% of world GDP, 75% of international trade, and 60% of the world population. And 2022 is the year that Indonesia plays a major role in leading the G20 discussions on various global issues. Not an easy task amid a global pandemic that still continues after more than 2 years. Holding the presidency in this unique moment where countries are struggling to bounce back from COVID-19, Indonesia introduces Recover Together, Recover Stronger as the main theme of its presidency. As a step toward an even, sustainable recovery, 6 priority agendas are introduced in the finance track. Exit strategy to support recovery, addressing scarring effect to secure future growth, payment systems in the digital era, sustainable finance, digital financial inclusion, and international taxation. Through these agendas, the Indonesian presidency aims to engage all G20 members and invitees in discussions and deliberations that goes beyond just the interest of advanced economies. Considerations also need to be put for other countries that may still be struggling to manage the pandemic. Because coming out of the pandemic, no one should be left behind. Recover together, recover stronger. Indonesia, a land of breathtaking nature.
Behold, the beauty that is Indonesia. Mother Nature's gift of serene and colorful landscapes. Where diversity makes us one, united towards a common goal. Where resiliency is achieved together. A strong infrastructure governance arising, where investments are waiting to flourish, and where creativity is inspired by tradition. Indonesia, where beautiful possibilities are offered.
Indonesia, a land of breathtaking nature and rich culture. There are many things Indonesians are proud of. One-of-a-kind photogenic spots spread all over the nation, unique wildlife, magnificent cultural heritage. And the most recent one, the G20 presidency. Indonesia is proud to hold the 2022 G20 presidency. As a multilateral forum connecting the world's major economies, the G20 holds a strategic role in securing global economic growth and stability. Together, the G20 members represent more than 80% of world GDP, 75% of international trade, and 60% of the world population. And 2022 is the year that Indonesia plays a major role in leading the G20 discussions on various global issues. Not an easy task amid a global pandemic that still continues after more than 2 years.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me, Sarah Wayne, to be the host for today's event. We hope that everyone is in a good health today. Although we have to conduct this event virtually, but fortunately, technology has enabled us to come together regardless of this challenging time raised by the pandemic. Before we start our agenda for the day, allow me to first greet His Excellency, the Governor of Bank Indonesia, Mr. Peri Warjio, His Excellency, the General Manager of Bank for International Settlements, or BIS, Mr. Agustin Carstens, the Deputy Governor of Bank Indonesia, Mr. Juda Agung, the Economic Advisor and Head of Research of BIS, Mr. Hyun Song Shin, the Head of BIS Innovation Hub, Mr. Ross Lecco, the Honorable Central Bank delegates, distinguished speakers, and all of our respected audiences who are attending this event through our virtual platform. Once again, a very good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the launching event of the G20 TechSprint 2022. And ladies and gentlemen, technology developments and also digitalization have driven innovation and also changed the payments landscape, including the emergence of new technologies, propelling the use of digital currencies and even those issued by the central bank, that is CBDC. CBDC, ladies and gentlemen, is a digital form of central bank money, which is denominated in the national unit of account. It can be classified into wholesale CBDC and also general purpose or retail CBDC. And to catalyze the development of wholesale and retail CBDC solutions, Bank Indonesia and BIS Innovation Hub are launching the 2022 edition of the G20 TechSprint. This long-form hackathon aims to foster and also challenge the international community to propose and also deliver the most practical and deployable solutions in designing and implementing CBDCs. Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, to begin our agenda for today, we would like to kindly invite His Excellency, the General Manager of BIS, who is joining us today virtually to deliver his special remarks. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give the warmest welcome to Mr. Agustin Carstens.
Governor Perry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to join you today for the launch of the G20 TechSprint. I would like to thank Governor Perry and Bank of Indonesia for their leadership in spearheading important global initiatives like this one under the auspices of the G20. Such efforts are essential if we are to ensure that the global financial system emerges stronger and more resilient than ever before. To future-proof a financial architecture against a large range of shocks, multilateral collaboration and practical thinking are vital. The G20 TechSprint is an important initiative that helps us move in that direction. This long-form hackathon has already proven itself as a successful global forum for policymakers and technologists as they collaborate on key areas of importance to the regulatory and central banking community. The BIS Innovation Hub co-hosted the first TechSprint with the Saudi G20 presidency in 2020, focusing on new technologies to resolve operational problems in the areas of regulatory compliance, RegTech, and supervision, SupTech. Under last year's Italian G20 presidency, we partnered with the Bank of Italy on the second TechSprint to develop solutions on green and sustainable finance. This year, under the Indonesian G20 presidency, we turn our focus to central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. This is certainly a hot topic that is attracting great interest from central banks around the world. There is a collective belief that CBDCs could do much to promote public interest in this age of digital money. Trust in money is the glue that holds the financial system together. That's why, as technology advances, central banks must ensure that the monetary system remains stable, preserving its fundamental character as a public good. Many central banks are working on CBDCs to create a system based upon sound and trusted public money of the future, in which the private sector can exuberantly develop new financial services. 3 retail CBDCs have already gone live. Pilots in 25 jurisdictions are underway, and conceptual work is ongoing in many countries. The BIS is playing its part through a broad range of activities. Our Monetary and Economic Department continues to produce cutting-edge research on technology and innovation to help policymakers and other stakeholders understand the forces shaping the financial system. Our hosted committees and associations, such as the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision and the BIS Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures, are working with their members to develop policies and standards for regulation in emerging fields. And the centerpiece of our work is the BIS Innovation Hub. Its underlying principle is collaboration. Central banks can accomplish so much more working together than individually, and even more so when they cooperate with international organizations, academia, and the private sector in developing new technological solutions. The hub creates technological products, often as proofs of concept or prototypes, which are then shared as global public goods with the central banking community and beyond. CBDC is a particularly important priority for the hub, with 5 completed projects and at least 3 more to come this year. These include work on retail CBDC for the general public and on wholesale CBDC for use by financial institutions, particularly in the form of multi-CBDC arrangements that will make cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and more efficient. We are also starting to investigate issues related to financial integrity and the offline use of CBDCs. Yet there are still critical areas and gaps that need further work. We have focused on 3 of them for the 2022 TechSprint. Let me go over these problem statements. The first is building effective and robust means for issuing, distributing, and transferring CBDCs. There is a need to optimize the various issuance and distribution processes for CBDCs. New capabilities, such as the programmability of money, could also result in innovative new services for customers. There will also be a corresponding increase in the need for oversight and supervision to ensure that safety and security are not compromised. Second, financial inclusion. CBDCs can also deepen financial inclusion and overcome the barriers facing the unbanked and underbanked. This is particularly relevant for countries like Indonesia that have a large territory of islands and a vast number of people who do not have access to financial services. This lack of access is due to in part to poverty, but also to logistical considerations such as the cost, travel distance, and paperwork, and processes involved in opening accounts. It is also due to a lack of trust in banks and other financial institutions. CBDCs could be a low-cost alternative to traditional currencies that would allow for integration with financial services providers and offer simplified due diligence for customer onboarding. But solutions must be designed to work even in areas with poor and intermittent internet connectivity, and they must be integrated with digital identity solutions to ensure both seamless service and privacy. The third problem statement is the interoperability of CBDCs. This is a key element in improving cross-border payments. Central banks can play a critical catalytic role in supporting interoperability, as already shown by some BIS Innovation Hub projects. Greater interoperability between different types of payment systems and across borders can lead to more competition, better services, and lower costs. As you can see, there are many different areas to work on and many problems to solve. Researchers, technologists, and innovators from all over the world, we need all the help you can provide. We at Bank Indonesia and the BIS want to engage with you and use this global initiative to catalyze innovative solutions to these problems. Thank you again, Governor Perry and Bank Indonesia, for your leadership in co-hosting this year's G20 TechSprint. I look forward to the many new ideas that will come along. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Mr. Carstens, for your remarks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue to our next agenda by listening to the opening remarks from His Excellency, the Governor of Bank Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Peri Warjio.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Agustin Carsten, General Manager of the Bank for International Settlement, distinguished speaker, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the launching of the third G20 TechSprint initiative. It is my honor and it is my privilege and also Bank Indonesia pleasure to arrange this high event under the Indonesia G20 Presidency 2022. And Bank Indonesia, together with the Bank for International Settlement, coordinated through its Innovation Center in Singapore, launching this event, the G20 TechSprint 2022, to solicit initiative global technology solution to catalyze development in central bank digital currency. It is indeed this topic, the CBDC, one of the center of the among the 6 agenda priority of the finance track of G20 presidency of Indonesia, which is under the theme of the payment system in the digital area, which is the topic of the CBDC, is one of the G20 presidency finance track agenda. This event, there is a G20 TechSprint initiative. It is a global competition, seeks out to the potential of the modern technologies combined with the new data and other innovation to develop a production-ready proposal and deployable prototype of CBDC. we are inviting the international community of innovators, entrepreneurship, startup, change maker, creators, developers, data scientists, designers, digital marketing, and communication experts to investigate and develop the best solution to some issues in the field of wholesale and retail CBDC. Listening what Augustine already mentioned, let me just talk about three aspects of this important event. Number one, why CBDC is important. Second, how is the role of central bank in the CBDC and what we expect from this G20 TechSprint event. Let me start with the first. Why CBDC is important under this digitalization era, under the G20, and why Indonesia is keen to promote this development of CBDC. One is the fast-growing digital asset, crypto asset. Globally, trading volume skyrocketing. Of course, providing some alternative of investment, but there are very big imminent risks to it. The trading of crypto asset and the development of digital asset. The risk to financial stability, the risk of monetary stability, and beyond that, the risk to also global financial system, cross-border payment and cross-border trading and the crypto and digital asset. Also, there is a risk of anti-money laundering and counter of financing terrorism, AML, CFT. So there is a growing concern about the increasing and the acceleration of the trading of digital asset. Under Financial Supervisory Board, there is also initiative how we, from under G20, how we need to come up more surveillance and also regulatory framework on those digital or crypto asset. Number two, there is increasing important the role of central bank to issue CBDC. Number of central bank already initiating and also experimenting. And also, Augustine already mentioned also initiative under the BAS to issue CBDC. In this aspect, of course, there is also a number of questions. How best central bank issue CBDC? The role of CBDC in this digital world, of course, can be the needs for reference as well as unit account, medium of exchange in the digital as in the digital currency. Some of them talking about the need of stable coin as the reference, where actually CBDC, which is issued by a central bank, can be a good and a very important reference for and as stable coin. And this is also the issue which is under the private currency, the backup of the issuance of this digital currency. CBDC issued by the central bank, of course, carry the sovereignty of the digital currency. So there is important of the central bank to issue CBDC. On the international monetary system, with the growing of digital currency, there's issue of international monetary system, dollarization, and how determination of the exchange rate among countries. This is the issue where cross-border and multinational CBDC will also later on raise the question about the new international monetary system under CBDC. On those aspects, the bottom line, we need a general principle of CBDC, where a central bank can use as reference to develop CBDC in their own countries, and there is also a broad agreement, general principle among countries, and later on can use CBDC as international monetary system. I think that's part one. Part two, how central bank go about in designing as well as issuing CBDC? The first question is, of course, the conceptual design of CBDC. There are a number of questions central bank need to consider. Question about whether central bank will issue CBDC only as wholesaler or going to also retailer, or central bank issue central bank digital currency and then later on in accession and joint constitution with the private digital currency, where central bank CBDC as reference or medium of exchange or as a stable coin of the private currency. And whether CBDC will only be unit of account, medium of exchange, or will be also interest bearing of CBDC. This is the question of conceptual design from the central bank. And above all, how the issuance of CBDC have implication to overall macroeconomic, monetary, as well as financial stability. So central bank need to come up with conceptual design of the CBDC, whether wholesaler, retailer, whether will be only unit account or interest rate bearing, and how the implication of overall macroeconomic, monetary, and financial stability. Number two, central bank must need to ensure the 3I, integration, interoperability, as well as interconnectivity of the payment system infrastructure, whether fast payment, real-time gross settlement, and other payment system infrastructure being interconnected with money market and financial market infrastructure, whether central counterparty, whether ETP multi-matching, and other. Why important? The integration, interoperability, and interconnectivity of the payment system and money market is the key, so that CBDC can be issued through this systemically or critically important payment system and financial market infrastructure. And reason number two, why this is interoperability becoming important, so that cross-border arrangement can be done. Because most cross-border arrangement coming from cross-border agreement on the payment system infrastructure as well as money market. Cross-border arrangement on fast payment, cross-border collaboration on real-time gross settlement. Those actually linking national and overseas other countries CBDC. Number three consideration, choice of technology platform, whether using stablecoin, distributed electronic, whether blockchain. There's also a question about data management, the ID, the location, data privacy, data security. There's those issue of the technology platform and corresponding data. So how central bank need to develop CBDC? There is three considerations: the conceptual design, the integration, interoperability, and interconnectivity of payment system and financial market sector, and of course, the choice of technology. That's part two. Part three, this is the initiative why we are working with BIS, thank you, Agusti Kristen, as well as its hub in Singapore to organize this under Indonesia G20 Presidency 2022 G20 TechSprint initiative. As I was alluded earlier, this global competition seeks out the potential of modern technologies, and of course, also to develop a production-ready proposal and deployable prototype of CBDC. Under the auspice of Indonesia G20 Presidency, we would like to organize under this BIS Innovation Hub to launch this G20 TechSprint G20 initiative. I do hope, and we do hope, this initiative will be excellent opportunity for bright and ambitious individuals as well as well-established firms to show off their best potential and bring the most innovative and applicable solution to this challenge. They are both global and very complex in nature, also very important and national, including in Indonesia. We continue hoping this initiative will bear a fruitful solution and also recommendation that can we as central bank can carry out to develop as well as also be excellent outcome under G20 presidency. We are expecting the ultimate goal of CBDC as the main gear for financial services and financial inclusion in the digital area, that both of us under the G20 and both all of us under G20 can achieve the together going forward. So with that, once again, it is our honor and with the BIS to present G20 TechSprint initiative under Indonesia G20 Presidency 2020. Thank you very much.
And we thank you, Mr. Periwarjio, for your welcoming remarks. And we please kindly request your presence to please stay us on stage virtually for the opening procession, Mr. Warjio. And ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will witness a special procession which signifies the launching event of the G20 TechSprint 2022, performed virtually all together by the leaders from the two institutions to rotate the gears which will drive the collaborative movement of synergy and also innovation on CBDC. Mr. Periwarjio, please kindly put your hand to the virtual gears that you can find on your screen. Mr. Warjio? Yes, and we'd also like to invite Mr. Agustin Carstens to also put your hands on the wheel. Ready, gentlemen? On my count. In 1, 2, 3.
Digital payments are an important gear in driving financial modernization and economic recovery. Central banks play a pivotal role in establishing the core infrastructure for enabling digital payments. Surveys have shown that many central banks are now actively experimenting with digital payments infrastructure, including new technologies like central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Under Indonesia's G20 presidency, Bank Indonesia and BIS Innovation Hub are launching the third of the G20 TechSprint to catalyze the development of wholesale and retail CBDC solutions. CBDCs is one of the G20 presidency finance track agenda on payment system in the digital era. As an annual long-form hackathon, the G20 TechSprint seeks out best-in-class technological innovations aimed at addressing high-priority areas of interest and needs of the global regulatory community. Teams from around the world are invited to propose and showcase best-in-class technological solutions that addresses the challenges identified in the problem statements. Winning team in each problem statement category stand to win attractive cash prizes provided by Bank Indonesia. Shortlisted teams would also receive a development stipend and have the opportunity to engage with CBDC experts. Be the part of this collaborative movement of synergy and innovation on CBDC with the spirit of Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Join the G20 TechSprint 2022. For more info, please visit www.g20techsprint.id.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the G20 TechSprint 2022 has officially started. And ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will continue our agenda with the panel discussion session. Ladies and gentlemen, this discussion will be moderated by the head of communication department of Bank Indonesia, and this session will enlighten you and will also give you more insights and also approaches on the G20 TechSprint 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please give a warm welcome to our moderator, Mr. Erwin Haryono. Welcome, Pak Erwin. How are you, Pak Erwin?
I'm good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm good as well, Pak Erwin. Pak Erwin, can you please give us a little brief details on what we'll be discussing in the session?
Before that, I'm just really want to tell I'm excited to be here this afternoon. So we've been talking about this digitalization, digital transformation for quite some times. We also talk about it in G20 meeting, as mentioned by Augustine, also Governor Perry just now. So now we are talking about those hot idea into the detail. So we will be listening to things that are technical, but also at the same time very idealistic. So I'm so excited today.
And that really sounds interesting. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present the microphone over to Mr. Erwin Haryono.
Thank you, Sarah. All right. Hello and good afternoon from us here in Jakarta. Over the next few minutes, we'll have a brief overview of the G20 TechSprint 2022 event. And now this is the moment where we are honored to hear from our speakers in the panel discussion. Please welcome Assistant Governor Mrs. Filianingsih Hendarta, Head of Payment System Policy Department, Bank Indonesia. Hello, Bu Philly. How are you today?
Hi, Erwin. Good. How are you?
I'm good. So glad you can make it today. So and then the second speaker, Mr. Andrew McCormack, the head of Bank for International Settlement, or BIS Innovation Hub Center in Singapore. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Hi, Erwin. It's a real honor and privilege to be here today. And on behalf of the organizing team from the BIS, we want to thank the G20 presidency and Bank Indonesia for the opportunity to work together and co-host this edition of the G20 TechSprint. So this is a very important topic for us, and we're really excited to be launching the event today.
Thank you for being here. So both speakers will talk about the general theme and information regarding TechSprint event. For the participant, there will be a question and answer session. So please submit in the Q&A column if you want to ask a question to speakers later on. But before we move further, is there any opening message or key message they would like to deliver to start with? Bu Fili?
Sure. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everyone. It is an honorable duty for me to be here and to bid you all a genial welcome. And first of all, I would like to start with a heartfelt thank you to Governor of Bank Indonesia, Mr. Perry Warjio, and also the General Manager of BIS, Mr. Augustine Karsten, as they have already presented their remarkable remarks and highlighted the essence of Indonesian G20 presidency. And secondly, I also would like to give my sincere gratitude to all organizers from BIS Innovation Hub side, particularly to our speaker today, Andrew, and for all the exceptional hard work and also a great collaboration in arranging this event thus far, and with whom we are able to reach this stage smoothly and successfully. And I'm also grateful for the assistance from our G20 fellows that has been spending their thought and also energy to help us to finalize the problem statement for this text sprint.
Thank you, Bu Philly. And Andrew, do you have something to start with?
Again, it's just really an honor to be here with AG Filia. This is a problem. The central bank digital currencies are an area of significant interest to the BIS and of course, more broadly to the global central banking community. We've published and studied this on this topic for about 5 years now. And we really see a lot of traction and momentum building around the world. So we're very excited to be using this TechSprint to advance this agenda, and really excited to see what the innovative private sector players, large and small, have to contribute through the course of this in the next few months.
Thank you again, Andrew. Now about the TechSprint itself, Andrew. Could you please explain to us briefly about the background of the G20 TechSprint 2000? I will start with Bu Philly, and then we'll go to Andrew. So what is the background, Bu Philly?
Okay, well, as what have been stated before in the previous session, one of the main topic of Indonesian G20 presidency is the payment system in digital era. So the search of technological advancements has been spreading intensively. We know that, and across the sectors. And with the payment system being one of them, so this have paved the way of the invention of the private-based payment services. So such as first the cryptocurrencies, including the stable coins, and the second is the other form of the services which are still susceptible to the various risks that could be posed. And the extent of the issue include, we know here, include but not limited to various risks such as the liquidity risk, technological vulnerability and interconnectedness, and also the possible systemic impact on the financial stability. So hence why the numbers, as Andrew mentioned before, the number of the central bank have been working hard to find the solution that can best accommodate the need of the public, the need of the people for a risk-free digital asset that can not only protect customer privacy, but also complement to the current form of money, and the more importantly is to provide a more benefit for the people. And the CBDC come as one of the potential form of money that could be possible provide such promises. So with that being said, the development and the acceleration of the CBDC has become a priority agenda for the central bank across the world. And Bank Indonesia, of course, along with the BIS, are launching this year's G20 TechSprint program that is designed to push forward the collaboration from individual teams and also enterprises to provide a technology-based solution for the CBDC. And the G20 TechSprint is basically an international competition aimed to seek the innovation and groundbreaking tech-based solution in the chosen topic, which is the case of Indonesia presidency, is the CBDC. So this year, TechSprint will be the third edition of the TechSprint event of the G20, which was previously held by the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, followed by the Banca d'Italia. So in addition to the main objective of the G20 TechSprint is not only to foster the innovation, but also challenge international community to propose and deliver applicable and deployable solution in designing and implementing the CBDC. So by joining this competition, participants will have the opportunity to win cash award by Bank Indonesia. Beside that, it's also worth noting that the benefits is not only the cash award itself per se, but the participant will also have the privilege to engage directly with the policy and decision makers. And on our end, the G20 members and the central bank, we will have the opportunity at least to enrich and also strengthen our knowledge more specifically on the operational level. So about how CBDC can be accelerated and implemented to provide a better and more inclusive payment system for the people.
Thank you. Very interesting. So you're inviting people all around the world to compete with this very exciting idea of the century, I should say. So Andrew, on the, I would like also to ask Andrew, as the head of BIS Innovation Hub Singapore Center, about the detail of this TechSprint. Could you please tell us what are the problem statements for the participants? I just checked that 100 people joining this conversation. So if you'd like to give us some details about the problem statements and also the complete timeline of the event. Please, Andrew.
Yes, certainly, Erwin. So I'll start with the problem statements. This year we've decided to frame the competition around 3 main problem statements, and each of these 3 categories have an additional 2 optional or bonus challenges. The problem statements were developed, as previously mentioned, through a collaborative process involving national authorities and thus reflect the interests of the G20 community. First problem statement, so category A, is implementing effective and robust issuance, distribution, and transference of CDBCs. This main problem statement is really looking for solutions in either the wholesale or retail CDBC space that cover the issuance, distribution, and adoption of these digital currencies. The optional challenges within this problem statement explore features like programmability and audit and supervision while protecting sensitive consumer data and privacy. Category B is enabling financial inclusion. This problem statement covers solutions aimed at the unbanked or underbanked who have difficulties accessing traditional banking services. Optionally, this problem statement also covers solutions for offline payments as well as solutions for seamless onboarding or digital verification. Category C is enabling connectivity and interoperability. The last problem statement covers solutions in linking CDBC platforms together to improve cross-border payments. This is an area certainly near and dear to my heart, and the optional elements of this problem statement include interacting with domestic payment systems such as instant payment systems and CDBCs, or other DLT-based platforms for securities settlement. So to reiterate, each of these 3 categories has a main problem statement and then 2 optional statements. The teams must first address the first problem statement or the main problem statement, and if they're confident that their prototype can be further enhanced or expanded, then they are also most welcome to also try to entertain one or both of the optional problem statements. In terms of milestones and key dates, the registration is now live, and interested teams should go to G20 TechSprint.id to review problem statements, understand the competition rules, the guidelines, and of course to register. Teams have until the 20th of May 2022 to submit their proposals, and we highly encourage participants to submit early in advance of this deadline. From there, the Innovation Hub team and the organizing team will then shortlist up to 21 teams who will advance to the prototype development phase and the solution development phase of this program. The shortlist will be announced in mid-June, and these teams will then have till the end of August to actually develop these prototypes for final judging. Shortlisted teams have an opportunity in late July to participate in a midpoint event where they'll be able to pitch their work in progress solutions to invited experts and guest regulators and gain from direct and real-time feedback on their solutions as they're being developed. The winners at the end of each of the 3 problem statement categories will be announced around the time of the G20 finance ministers meetings and governors meetings in late October. So that gives you a good synopsis of the overall program, and certainly more detail is available at G20TechSprint.id.
To go into more detail, Andrew, could you also explain further on the registration scheme and the event arrangements? Could you also please enlighten us, especially the participants who may wish to participate in this event, on those registration scheme and so on? Please, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the teams, we've said that, participants can come in all shapes and sizes. You do not have to be a registered legal entity or a company to participate. Participants could join, for example, from a university or academic context, or potentially from a startup context. So we're very much open to all sort of different types of teams and participants. But what's really critical is that their solutions do, through the course of the challenge, become deployable and demonstrable, so that the judges can actually obviously assess and evaluate the quality of those proposals. So we're trying to be as inclusive as possible in terms of how we define participation in this program. And as previously mentioned, there will be cash stipends to support teams through the development phase of this project. So the 21 shortlisted teams will be offered approximately $10,000 to offset any kind of development costs or expenses that might be incurred through the course of the next 3 months. So that hopefully gives you a sense of kind of the support that we're providing. We're also inviting participants to use the Apex platform, which is a marketplace of APIs and capabilities which can also be leveraged to the development of their own solutions. They don't have to use it. They can also choose to use their own development toolkits or cloud environments, but the final solutions for the shortlisted participants must be linked and available to the judges at the end of the competition. So I'll stop there.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. Very, very informative. So we go to the Q&A session. But due to the time limit, I will only choose 3 questions, which may be answered either by Bu Philly or Andrew. So sorry for this very limited time. I will read the question right away. The question number 1 from Mark Chand from ASEAN Blockchain Association, or ABC, who the address to Bu Philly. The question is, will the winning solutions from this TechSprint be implemented by Bank Indonesia or other G20 central bank? Bu Philly?
Okay. Of course, there is no commitment on the part of the organizer that the solution will be deployed. But the winner will stand to win cash prizes for their solution if selected. But nonetheless, by participating in this G20 side event, shortlisted team and the eventual winner, of course, will have the opportunity to showcase their solution through the course of the TechSprint. And we also hope that this could open up the further opportunities for them for the suitable solution to be considered by interested authority keen on implementing such solution.
Thank you. Thank you, Bu Philly. I'm still waiting for another question to come. I don't think there's another question, or probably... Okay, here comes the question number 2. From Stephen Wu, from an independent software developer. He also would like this question be answered by Bu Philly. The question is, I'd like to ask a question regarding the theme. Why did Bank Indonesia and BIS choose CBDCs as the focal theme for this year's G20 TechSprint?
As we know, the CBDC is one of the G20 presidency finance track agenda on the payment system in digital era. But moreover, as mentioned before, the central banks around the world are now actively studying and experimenting on the CBDC as a way to enhance our global financial system. Hence, we hope to be able to use this TechSprint initiative at least first to seek out and second to catalyze innovative and best-in-class technologies that will contribute to this works, of course.
Andrew, you would like to add some idea about this question? Why?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. The BIS Innovation Hub team has been supporting TechSprints now for 3 years. The prior iterations were also linked to the presidency's priorities at the time. The first one was on RegTech and SupTech and kind of digital transformation within the regulatory environment and the supervisory environment. The second one involved climate change and issues around green finance and transition risk. And so we were very much looking to bring this maybe back into the wheelhouse of central banks. As AG Filia has mentioned, most central banks, 86+% of them are actively researching and working in this space, and some are even moving through to a pilot phase launch. So we think this is a very timely and important topic, certainly to the central banking community. And I think a TechSprint and the G20 TechSprint this year with Bank Indonesia and the presidency's support is absolutely perfectly situated to advance the discussion.
Nice, thank you. Question number 3 from Ahmad Roof. He would like this question answered by Andrew. The question is it possible if I submitted a proposal without having to develop this solution prototype? Is it possible, Andrew?
Well, a fair question. We are expecting teams who submit proposals, should they be shortlisted, to be able to follow through with the development of that particular proposal to a prototype level of quality. And so while if you have a good idea, I would encourage you to work around your network and see if you can put together a team that would be capable of helping execute some of the ideas that you have. Because we do actually expect that shortlisted teams are able to follow through on the development of their proposals.
All right. I think I should stop here for the Q&A session. Thank you again for the answer, Bu Fili and Andrew. Of course, all the participants will welcome to come to our website and ask some further question. So for the end, as we get closer to the end of the session, could you please tell us, Bu Fili and Andrew, what are some of the inputs and wishes that you expect from this event? Bu Fili?
Okay, I'm assured that this event is an important step prior to the implementation of the CBDC. So by becoming a participant, you have your share of contribution in accelerating and advancing the development of the CBDC to shape the future of the payment system, and also, of course, take part in creating the history. So I would like to urge you to not hesitate to join this event and help the world to recover together, recover stronger. And I wish you all the good luck, and may the best team bring out the best solution. And as a closing, as the African proverb say, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So let's go together through this year G20 TechSprint of CBDC. Thank you, Erwin.
Thank you. Recover stronger, recover together. Thank you, Bu Fili. Andrew, do you have any closing statement?
Well, it's pretty hard to follow those remarks, so I'll be very brief. But again, we're just grateful that we're able to work with the BI team. We think this event could have a tremendous amount of impact, and remember that for teams and participants, it's an opportunity to interact directly with invited experts in this space from the BIS, with regulators and central bankers throughout the competition. And I'm very, very sure that a lot of the creativity that the private sector can bring to this conversation will directly influence some of the thinking and the policy decisions that need to be made around the potential issuance of a CBDC in the future. So we would certainly invite everyone to consider participating who's interested, and the ball's in your court, and we look forward to assessing and understanding and learning from and collaborating during this next few months.
Thank you, Bu Philly Andrew. From what we have discussed today, I took some notes from both of you. This event is a prestigious global event which could shape the future of payment. I don't think it's only payment. I think the future of central banking and so on and so forth, right? All participants from all over the world, both firms and individuals, registered as teams, are invited to solve one of main 3 problem statements on CBDC, and will compete to win exciting prizes provided by Bank Indonesia and, as Bu Philly mentioned, opportunity to interact with the prominent figures in CBDC. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate to have this opportunity to hear directly from 2 distinguished speakers today that fully involved in this prestigious event. But before we end the session, I proudly present an inspiring and encouraging video that will blow your mind, I assume, and lead you to take part and become a contestant in the G20 TechSprint 2022. We are waiting for your brilliant ideas and solutions. So let the competition begin.
Digital payments are an important driver for financial modernization and economic recovery. Central banks play a pivotal role in establishing the core infrastructure for enabling digital payments. Surveys have shown that many central banks are now actively experimenting with digital payments infrastructure, including new technologies like central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Under Indonesia's G20 presidency, Bank Indonesia and BIS Innovation Hub are launching the G20 TechSprint 2022. This is the 3rd edition of the Global Long-Form Hackathon and will focus on catalyzing solutions in wholesale and retail CBDCs. The focus on CBDCs is aligned with the work of the G20 Presidency's Finance Track Agenda under the workstream on payment system in the digital era. This is a rare opportunity for teams to develop and showcase best-in-class innovations to improve the application and implementation of CBDCs. One winning team in each category stands to win attractive cash prizes of approximately $53,000 provided by Bank Indonesia. In addition, each shortlisted team will receive a stipend of approximately $10,000 to offset any development and participation expenses. Teams would also have the opportunity to engage with invited experts in the field of CBDCs. We welcome all teams from all countries interested in CBDCs and who have a proven track record of delivery. Each team must submit a fully complete proposal before the registration deadline. Thereafter, shortlisted teams must develop deployable solutions by the final judging at the end of August. For more info, please visit www.g20techsprint.id. Be the part of this collaborative movement of synergy and innovation on CBDC with the spirit of Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Join the G20 TechSprint 2022.
Thank you to our moderator, Mr. Erwin Haryono, and also our speakers, Mrs. Filianingsi Hendarta and Mr. Andrew McCormack, for the excellent and also insightful panel discussion. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, please do give a round of applause for our distinguished speakers and also our moderator. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally reached the end of our agenda for today. Thank you very much for taking your time with us, and thank you for your participation. Hopefully, it was an impressive, insightful, and also informative event for you. Please do stay tuned with us and keep abreast with all the G20 TechSprint events at www.g20techsprint.id, since the registration has started now. On behalf of Bank Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen, BIS Innovation Hub, and also all the committee of G20 TechSprint 2022, allow me, Sarah Wayne, to sign off. We hope to see you again in the near future. Please do stay safe and stay healthy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Om Santi Shanti Shanti Om. Namo Buddhaya. Salam kebajikan.